Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this tutorial video on phonics monkeys and crossbow initiations. Probably one of the most complex and dynamic freestyle moves, and the one with the weirdest name. The phonics monkey is essentially a crossbow 360 pirouette into a front loop. Before we dive into the technique, a couple of brief disclaimers. First, this tutorial is about how to phonics on flat water. Though the technique for whitewater is similar, there are some differences. Second, and more importantly, whether you are practicing this move on the flat or in a hole, it is vital to warm up and stretch properly beforehand, as well as to supplement your paddling with shoulder strengthening and conditioning exercises. The crossbow initiation has potential, especially in a river environment, to place significant load on the arm or shoulder joint, which are already close to full extension. That said, the first thing you need for a phonics is a crossbow initiation. If you don't already have the ability to consistently initiate the bow in a conventional way, or to control the boat in a bow stall, I suggest checking out those videos first. The first thing to note with a crossbow initiation, and especially if you want to use it to access the phonics monkey, is that it is a very rotational move by contrast with the standard double pump bow initiation. Trying to initiate the crossbow with the same verticality of strokes as you use for the double pump is likely to twist the body into some very unusual positions. So to start this move, just like the regular bow initiation, with the boat on a roughly 45-degree edge, you need to unweight the bow and load up the stern, but use a paddle stroke at about 45 degrees, which will not only unweight the bow, but drive it off the centre line to the opposite side from where you want to initiate. Before the stern begins to be rejected, you want to be winding up your torso and reaching for that crossbow stroke, while being conscious to keep your offside knee up. The crossbow stroke needs to be relatively wide out from the hull, which might justifiably make you worry about your shoulders. But as you can see from these examples, your blade does not need to be deep, nor do you need to be fully extending your arm, so you can avoid placing the shoulder under any huge strain. From here, the bow initiation can be completed in two possible ways. Either, as the stern gets rejected, use all that rotation to your advantage. Keep looking round in the direction of rotation while unwinding the body in a neutral to forward position and driving the knees down. Use your paddle to guide and continue that rotation and then control the momentum. Alternatively, particularly applicable in longer old-school boats, as the stern is rejected and you reach for that crossbow stroke, still unwind the torso in a neutral to forward position and drive down through the knees. But instead of relying just on that crossbow stroke, drop the opposite blade onto the water's surface and apply positive pressure. Essentially, this turns your paddle into a large double-ended lever, with one end drawing up and the other end pushing down. From here, you are into normal bow stall territory. Having grasped the crossbow initiation, we can start on the phonics monkey. Like many tricks, it will really help to pick an upstream mark to focus on. As with the loop, something high up above water level can help increase air. Initiate that crossbow stroke exactly as we have just discussed, ensuring that you keep the paddle blade shallow. Look around in the direction of rotation, aiming to spot your upstream mark. Throughout this rotation, try to keep your body as neutral as possible, maintaining pressure through the core, knees, and heels, and using only tiny adjustments in weight distribution to keep the boat rising to vertical throughout the turn. This is where the flat water phonics differs from the whitewater version. Though some people are now successfully putting together the whitewater phonics on flat water, I personally am going to need to invest some more time on them before I feel confident delivering a tutorial. Whereas in whitewater, the nose of the boat will now be being pulled downstream and rejected, which mostly stops the rotation. On the flat, you as the paddler need to arrest that rotational momentum. Do this by planting the blades on the surface as you would for a bow stall. If you imagine a straight line from you to the upstream mark, you want to place the paddle shaft as close to perpendicular to that line as you can. This will help keep your loop straight. All that rotational momentum will now be translated into driving the bow deeper into the water, which you can exaggerate by beginning to stand up, pushing through the heels. The bow will then be rejected, and you can throw your front loop using either of the methods demonstrated in the loop video. The crucial element throughout this move is keeping your eyes on that upstream mark. That is what will lead your rotation, allow you to control your momentum, and keep your loop straight. One common error with this technique is stopping the rotation too soon, i.e. before your boat is aligned upstream. This will cause you to throw the loop off-center. In other words, your body will throw and tuck in the correct orientation, but your pelvis and hips are slanted to one side or other, causing a wonky loop. To counter this, when slowing the boat's rotational momentum, plant the inside blade close to the boat and shallow, with a slight climbing angle, and feather the blade to both guide the deceleration of momentum and the alignment with your upstream mark. Another point to watch out for is avoiding standing up too soon. If you do this, it will simply flatten the boat out again. Preservation and redirection of momentum is so crucial to this move, so it will require patient practice. But the feeling when you get one right is well worth the effort.
Thanks very much for watching this tutorial video. I hope you found it enjoyable and informative. If you've been following any of my content and you're enjoying it, please do consider subscribing. It makes a big difference to me, and it means that more people get to see and enjoy this content. Oh!